And welcome back to more Malus code. Let's just see how this goes. After we climb up a shaft in the tunnel, we arrive at a familiar location. This is the room where I saw Yasenpai wearing the kimono. Yeah? Is this a hidden passage? Or maybe it should be called an evacuation route? I don't get the point. It's a convoluted setup. But I guess it's not that unusual for a historic building to have something like this.
パパには吉野という名前の長女がいたんですよ。一応、公には僕のお姉様にあたるのですけれども。
Yasenpai picks up the formal clothes counter on the floor and lovingly rubs his face against it.
パパの家族は普通ではありませんでしたからね。それはこの僕を見ても明らかでしょ。
I take a look at Yasenpai from head to toe. A small face in a thin frame, soft-looking lips and cat-like eyes. Where the fuck do you see cat-like eyes? Refined and flirty gestures. Well, I can at least agree that Yasenpai isn't exactly what people would call normal.
ところで、引き返すならここが最後ですけれども。どうします？
Turn back? Yasenpai stands by the door and questions me. He points toward what's probably the exit of the mansion. What a joke. There's no way I'd turn back. It's coming so
では、
far.
先に進みましょうか。
We leave the room and walk down the dim hallway. Since it's his own home, Yasenpai travels through the maze-like corridors unhindered. Oops, Yasenpai stops suddenly and I almost crash into his back. What's the matter? I peer over his shoulder down the hallway, I gasp in surprise. A man in a lab coat lies collapsed on the floor. This is the same thing I saw in the woods. Why are these guys passing out here too? Yasenpai bends down next to him and rolls him over so he's facing up. He then searches the man's coat and pockets.
やっぱりこいつらはアブイニシオ製薬の雇われだ。
Yasenpai grumbles in irritation as he scars what looks like the man's business card identification. I saw some guys who seem to be from the same group outside. Who are
特
they?
別な救急医療チームってところですね。例えば、錯乱した薬物中毒者の取り押さえを行ったり。
A special emergency medical team? Now that I look closely, he does look kind of muscular. If you swapped his lab coat for a bulletproof vest and military goggles, it wouldn't seem out of place. My smartphone starts going off again. I sure am popular today. Looks like it's notifying me that I got an email. Where are you? If you're okay, then contact me. The sender is Suzaki-sensei. The message is short and to the point. Yeah.
それは誰からのです？
It's Suzaki-sensei.
そうですか。先生に僕も一緒だって伝えてください。
A message that is short and sweet to the point. Well, it wasn't sweet, but... Okay, I'm in the mansion, and I'm with Yasenpai, I write. When I send it, I get a voice call. Sensei, you okay? I could be better, but I rub the bump in my forehead as I speak.
一個早いに変わってくれ。すぐにだ。
She's on a carefree chatter with a curt voice. I hand my phone to Yasenpai.
先生、今どちらにいらっしゃいますか？父のところですか？それなら話が早いですね。
I stand by and listen to their call, but I can only hear what Yasenpai is saying, so I quickly lose track of the conversation. Then they finish talking and he hands the phone back to
面
me.
倒は少なそうです。みんなのところに行きましょう。
Who do you mean by everyone? I question him as I take my phone back, but his answer is brief.
みんなと言ったらみんなですよ。
Of course it is. I meant to sit down and close my eyes for just a moment, but I awakened feeling sunlight on my skin. A storm passed over last night. I remember things getting really busy inside of the mansion before dawn. Once I let my guard down, fall asleep, and the usual servants started stirring about again. At night, this place seems so eerie, and yet not a touch of that darkness remains. It's a weird feeling. Where did everyone go again? I stopped by the bathroom and washed my face. The Yakuma house is basically back to its usual routine, but some scars are left from the uproar last night. Along the windows in the hallway, one has nothing left but the frame. I stand in front of it and gaze out into the forest before me. What? I stand in front of it and gaze out into the forest before me for a bit. Whoops, I wasn't done yet. Hold up. I start to walk down the hallway again. A server called me from behind. He tells me everyone is waiting. I follow him. I've never seen his room before. A large hospital bed occupies the middle of the room, and doctors and nurses are crowded around it. What the fuck? What the fuck is that? I guess I can guess who the person in the bed is. Must be the owner of the estate. Yatsuhiro. Being his father. There's a cot lined up next to his bed. On it, Yuri lies on her back with her eyes closed. A cot? Sasaki-sensei sits on a chair next to her. She looks like a mother watching over her sleeping baby.
生駒王はお休み中だ。
Alexei stands up and looks towards me as she speaks. No way, she's not looking at me. I turn around and I senpai standing behind me. She was looking at me.
鈴掛先生、どうやら僕の父がいろいろとご迷惑をおかけしたようですね。本当にご苦労様でした。ここからは僕のファミリーのことですから。お帰りいただいて結構ですよ。
申し訳ないが、こちらにもそうするわけにはいかない事情があるんだ。
どうしてみんなあんな横暴な男の言いなりになるんでしょうね。僕には全く理解できません。
Tyrant? Ikoma Yatsuro gets a pained moan from his bed. He struggles as he reaches his arm out into midair. His fingers wrinkle as if he's scratching at something. Doctor and nurse try to restrain their raging patient. A sharp scream sounds. A nurse steps back, gripping her face. Blood seems to sweep between her fingers. What the fuck? Hold on, is that Ikoma Yatsuhiro? I thought you just realized that already. He rolled her eyes at senpai. The person on the bed just isn't right. His bruised-looking skin color is somewhat understandable. The way his visibly muscular body doesn't show any sign of weakening is also not too implausible. But isn't his height unusual? He's got to be at least over 2 meters. No, at least 2 meters and 50 centimeters. Or over 80 feet tall.
パパです。
80 feet? I meant 8 feet.
あの人でなしを人間と呼ぶなんて頭にきますけど、あいつ自身は確かにホモサピエンスですから、人間と呼ぶしかないですね。
Homo sapiens? What the? Esther passes beside me and faces Sasaki-sensei.
先生はどうしても僕の邪魔をするつもりなんですか？
君の行動を妨げるんじゃない。私はただ、生駒王の意志を尊重しているだけだよ。
何が王の意志ですか？あんな奴、もうとっくに正気を失ってますよ。
Senpai points at the bed as he sounds off.
生きようとするのは、生命の本質の一つだ。いくら狂気に陥った者の言葉だからといって、軽々しく否定していいもんじゃない。
声に力がないですよ、鈴掛先生。今のあなたはまるでママに叱られている子供のようだ。研究室のあなたとはまるで別人だ。
仕方がないんだ。今さら手を引くことなどできないのだ。
あんな奴さっさとくたばってしまえ。そう考えている僕の方が案外彼を人間扱いしているかもしれないですね。あの様子だと結局徒労に終わったようですね。
Someone who seems to be the leader of the doctor shouts impatiently. Some nurses around him rush out of the room. I look, and Ikoma Yatsuhiro has stopped struggling. His senpai goes up to his beside and grabs his wrist. To his beside? No, it says bedside. Bedside. Yeah, bedside. And grabs his wrist. What a large palm and thick, long fingers. He's almost like a what? Troglodyte. His senpai holds Ikoma Yatsuhiro's wrist for some time and then drops it. Shaking his head, there must be no
ご
pulse.
臨終か。どうぞ私を軽蔑してくれたまえ。今は、安堵の気持ちの方が大きいよ。
Okay, that is a mean thing to say.
醜い死に様。最後には相応の報いを受けたというところですね。
So he died? The Nagase doesn't reply to his senpai and stands silently by
ユリ
Yuri.
終わったよ。もう起きてもいいんだ、ユリ。
Aki taps Yuri's sleeping face, who groans as she opens her eyes.
あれお姉ちゃんここはどこ？怪しい人！
Yuri screams when she awakens and sees the man in lab coat.
お姉ちゃん、そいつらユリたちを襲った奴らだよ！逃げて！
Yuri jumps from her bed and grabs onto Sasaki Sensei's arm.
ああ、いいんだ。それについては話がついているから。彼らはもう私たちに危害を与えるようなことはない。
The man in white robes continues to ignore us. I look at the bed beside me, and Yoshiro's body has been wrapped cleanly in a sheet, and a large stretcher is being prepared next to it.
そうなの？お姉ちゃんがそう言うなら。
Yuri doesn't quite seem to buy Saki's explanation. She hides behind her nervously and peers around the
生
room.
駒康弘氏がたった今亡くなった。
As she speaks, Saki Sensei grips Yuri's lower arm. There's a needle injected into it, with a long tube coming from it, leading into a typical-looking medical device. That's how they get a pulse. Or vessel,
Yuri.
or vein, I mean.
何をされたの？
Saki Sensei pulls the needle from Yuri's arm. Yuri gazes at the mark it left, with an uneasy look in her eyes.
生駒氏は生まれながらに病に侵されていた。戦後、財を成した生駒氏は生きながらえるために様々な努力を惜しまなかった。
They're sent by butts in during Sasaki Sensei's explanation.
僕としては、そこはあらゆる努力を惜しまなかったと表現してほしかったですね。八重ちゃん。
What's with that retarded face right there? Hustily exudes from Yai Senpai's voice. Yuri cowers a bit in response to
僕
his
はショックでしたよ。どうして自分はこの世に生まれたのか、その理由を知ってしまった時は、少なくとも僕の場合はパパとママが愛し合うことによって作られた子供じゃなかったんですよ。僕だけでなく、吉野お姉様もね。
君にこんなことを言える資格はないのだが、頼む。吉野の話は勘弁してくれないだろうか。
今日はある意味僕にとって祝すべき日ですから、特別に受け入れてあげますよ。さて、皆さん、いつまでこんな神気臭いところにいるつもりですか？
Okay.
明日から忙しくなりそうですし、もうお休みしましょう。
Ever so sleepily, he claps his hands together to dismiss us. Saki Sensei silently takes Yuri's arm and faces away from us. Yuri looks like she wants to say something, but Saki Sensei drags her out of the
そう
room.
だ。あなたはどうするんです？あなたは。
This man acts like he just realized I'm here.
どこから来たのかわからない。七種のゴンベイさん。
John Doe. My name is Will, not John Doe. It's not UN Owen either. How do you know about that? UN Owen. Feeling uncomfortable, I said a little more than I should have. Maybe I should have just stayed
ま、
silent.
今はいいですよ。後でゆっくりお話ししましょう。二人きりで。
I step back to the room. The doctors and nurses continue to work indifferently. They don't seem to care one way or another if the man who lies in the bed is living or dead. They come out Steele's corpse is sealed in a large body bag, placed on a stretcher, and taken away. A few nurses stay behind to remove the medical equipment. They clean up the dirty bed sheets and leftover medicine. They don't interact with me at all. Maybe I'm lower than garbage to them and not even worth throwing out. However, this could reflect how Yukoma Yatsuhiro was treated during his lifetime. I look around the vacant room. It's lonely and lacks any warmth. Was that it? His father died? Several days pass. Oh, I like that black screen. This music though. Ikoma Yatsuhiro's obituary goes public a few days after the night we spent at the Ikoma household. I hope... Hold on. And I'm back after a brief intermission. I'll just get back to this. I open up a newspaper and spread it onto the desk in the lab. His death is covered in depth in the local news, but as far as nationwide papers or television, it's not featured as much. It probably really was a dark influence in the central government. I try my best to read newspaper in Japanese, but that's about all I can get out of it. Reading news outside of my area of expertise in foreign language is a bit much for me after all. I fold up the paper and toss it in the trash. Too many things I'm not good at is wearing me out. I will read the rest online. Yeah, sure. Oh, what the fuck? I just sneezed. That's the first time I ever sneezed on a recording, maybe. I sit in front of my PC and search for news from other countries. After about 30 minutes, I've skimmed over coverage everywhere, from big news outlets to fishy SNN posts. The contents there are much different than what was written in the local newspaper. I guess it's only natural. Even though it's somewhat near to the capital of Japan, from a nationwide view, this is nothing more than a completely normal town. There's no big newspaper company, and I can't think of any journalists who would be particularly knowledgeable about local affairs. Now that I think about it, the person who's most knowledgeable about the details of this incident might be me. Getting bored with the internet, I close my browser and leave my seat, but suddenly something occurs to me. I try to access the usual chat channel. Security-wise, it's not proper to access it from here, but things have changed. I don't think there's any need to be so paranoid from here. I'm paranoid anymore. I enter the chat room as always, and there's a response. Hey, good morning. How are you feeling? I'm great, is what I wish I could say, but to be honest, I'm exhausted. I saw the news. I never could have guessed something like this would happen. What should I do now? I don't know what else I can report about the poor lab or the Yakuma family. Sorry, but to me, you're nothing more than a pawn who served their purpose. To be frank, you're useless now. What? Isn't that a little too frank? In a spy movie, an agent who served their purpose always gets erased, but that's not gonna happen to me, right? Are you motherfucking serious? You typed LOL. How do you even do that in Japanese? And in a spy movie, when does a spy get erased? Either the spy dies or the spy succeeds. That's how it always works. For me, anyway. That's how I see it, anyway. Don't worry, you're not that valuable. Plus, I'm the one who knows about you. My client has no idea. You're not that valuable. What the fuck? Well, you're going to get rid of an ordinary person like me. It's not that I can do anything, right? Worrying is a waste of time. If you want to flee overseas, I can easily arrange a plane ticket for you. It's just pocket money for me, but I can't pay up front, so just keep that in mind. We can flee? Gosh darn it. Cheer up. If you leave Japan, you'll be compensated. Compensated. God damn it. I intend to think carefully about what to do next. Whoops, not that. I wanna see. Yeah. I didn't put Quill to the rest, but I continue chatting.
おはよう。
That door opened as Oxen entered. I swiftly closed the chat window. Oxen looks kinda tired. Her face and voice lack energy. It's understandable. Due to Yakuma Yasuru's death, the university is in chaos. To be frank, there wasn't anything honest about that man. Ruling the countryside with his wealth, Yakuma Yasuru was a fickle patron. Those who accepted bribes from him are probably scrambling to not be found out. The Polar Lab had some of the closest ties to him in the whole university, and that's putting things tightly. I want to believe there wasn't anything suspicious going on.
申し訳ないが、またすぐ出ねばならなくてね。今日は戻れないと思う。
Seems like she just came to get some paper she needed from the professor's office. I see. First sent by his absent. He probably won't be able to come back until the funeral is over. So how Yuri's doing? Well, I doubt anything's changed. I think back to that day, Yuri had a needle in her arm that had a tube connected to some medical equipment. That's just they were getting a blood vessel. What was happening to her body during that
ユリ
time?
の病院の検査は昨日で終わったのだが、大事をとってしばらく休ませている。八重については言うまでもないな。普通に考えても十分に大変な状況だからな。
Yeah, I still haven't fully this what happened to the at the Yakuma mansion. If I try and put that nonsensical and supernatural experience into words, it just sounds like a lie. Did that really happen? I started to doubt my own memories and then get lost in my own mind. Could that have been a dream? Well, you read in the newspaper that Elizabeth was going to inherit the business. Did you hear any rumors about
学内
that?
もそれで揉めていたところだ。生駒王は幸運にも財産には恵まれたが、不幸にして慶類には恵まれなかった。遺産
Disputed.
相続については以前から争いの火種となっていたのだが、
Okay, let's get this.
消化が終わらないうちに爆発してしまったようだ。
I was saying that, so I accidentally decided for a bit. She sighs and looks away
君
from me.
には申し訳ないのだが、この研究室は閉じることになるかもしれないよ。果たして君はどこまで知っているのだろうか。そこは追求しないでおくよ。私は意図して君を敵視するつもりはないが、私の守るべきファミリーはユリだけだ。
All lives are equal, but on a personal level, there are still lives that I care about and lives that I don't. I don't think it's natural to feel close with those gene symbols are yours. Lexi looks at me if she's going to respond, but then closes her mouth before saying anything.
また会おう。
Lexi shakes her head slightly as if she's trying to get rid of herself of some doubt and leaves the lab. I am staying in the lab all by myself until 3 p.m. I tend to stay until the evening, but I give it into my boredom and leave to go on a stroll to entertain myself. You should have just left. I mean, you should have fled. Yeah. I end up going to Dr. Cynthia Yuri's house. I'm nearby, so I might as well give a short visit. I expect everyone to be home, but there's an answer when I ring the bell. Oh, it's Yuri. Oh yeah, she's back from the hospital. I think Dr. Cynthia said she was hospitalized until yesterday, if I remember right. Why are we back here? Sorry to
う
intrude.
ん、お姉ちゃんもいないし、ちょうど誰かとお話ししたかったところだから大歓迎だよ。
And it's evening. For some reason, when entering Yuri's place, I suddenly get the chills
ど
and
うし
shiver.
たの？遠慮なく上がっていいよ。
It occurred to me as I stand spaced out in the doorway.
大丈夫大丈夫。実は部屋の中にお姉ちゃんが怖い顔をして待ち構えているなんてことはないから。
Are you sure? I think it was back in May when Dr. Cynthia was out and I went into Yuri's room and then later Dr. Cynthia flipped out. I wonder if my chills were caused by unconsciously remembering that experience. I feel like that's a little off. It's just a gut feeling though. What the true cause is, or if there's even true cause, is unclear. Light from the sunset seeps into the room. Tinting is slightly red. Somehow it makes the room look sorrowful to me. It's also like people are fitted out new and that. She told me you were back to the hospital.
そのお姉ちゃんは何か言ってた？
Where's your ending quotation mark on that? Yuri strokes her inner elbow of her left arm while she speaks. That's where the needle was inserted. She's probably doing it unconsciously. Well, she said she protected him no matter what, and she seemed determined.
ねえ、ゆりはずっとお姉ちゃんに迷惑をかけてきちゃったのかな。
Even if you are, you shouldn't get upset about it. Your happiness is her happiness, and your happiness is her. Your happiness is hers too. I don't know if saying that will cheer her up. But all I can do for now is offer words of encouragement like this. I didn't mean to stay long, but I end up sitting in the chair and keep walking to Yuri. Before I know it, my hands are full of scraps of paper. They're candy wrappers. It's because of the basket of candy on the table. I've opened up so many while chatting with Yuri. It'd be rude to go home without throwing them away. I gathered up the paper, wrapped it all together with both hands. Okay, where's the trash can? I stepped from my seat when I take a side step. My toe forcibly smacked into something. Oops. This small cylindrical trash can kind of spilled out all over
大
the
丈
floor.
夫？
Just sorry. The guy still is very light, so it's not like it causes any harm, but it makes me feel less in the room. Turning up, I started gathering spilled together piece by piece. It's in the living room, it didn't have anything wet or dirty in it, thankfully. It's full of just tissues paper pressed, but there's one thing that stands out a bit. Package from the Admonition Department Studios. Just one pill remained unopened. She probably thought she used it up and threw it away with one left. I wonder how much he knows about this medicine. I also wonder how Zaki feels about giving her this stuff. The Admonition Department Studios is drugs. No, drugs developed by your Queen's Zero were not enough to save your life. Who knows how this medicine will be received in the future. Same goes for all the other medicine as well. I'm the same, and it's not its members. This British pharmaceutical company are on a similar
す
trade.
っごく
States.
顔色が悪いよ。本当に大丈夫？
No, it's nothing. I instantly had the medicine in my hand, but I reconsidered it and then throwing back in the trash can. Well, I guess it'd be better going. I guess better get going. 2 minutes may be long, but the dark night still shows up when evening passes. And that's when a low-pitched noise comes from the trash can. A black bug comes flying out. Flies in circles in front of our eyes.
ゴキブリ？
Here's the name of a popular pest in Japan. popular. That's weird. This bug was in there before. I should have noticed it when I was cleaning up earlier. It suddenly changes its trajectory mid-air and shoots straight towards my face. I didn't try to spec with my palm, but my hand just slices through the air. Next moment, the pesky roach flies into my mouth. Work. And she looks disgusted. I scream like crazy, spit it out. It falls on the ground, so I feel for over. Holding the lip in my mouth, I cough until I get it out. Thorny stick must be in one of the roach's legs. Can I use your bathroom? Hearing that slightly, her face is kind of pale. I didn't want to rich time. I never wanted to be so bad in my life. I go attend the road, go back to the room, and use on the hunt with pet sight in hand. I'm just gonna come out again. It's missing legs
いや、
too.
ゴキブリはすばしっこいんだから、油断はできないよ。ゴキブリを一匹見つけた時には、すでにその裏では何十匹ものゴキブリが活動しているんだから。
Still on yours roach hunt for another 2 hours. Give me a break, that was terrible. Then yours persisted to be suffocating and terminating the roach. I hope she can sleep soundly tonight. Now that I can relax in the room with some girls bug prowling around. Yeah, the other day I found a spider in my room. And it hung down from the ceiling, but I eventually got it and threw it. Anyways, I stop on the sidewalk and look up at a street light. I can hear the sound of insects who blink up as they swarm around it. I look at the bug, so I shoot the roach's legs, my mouth comes back. I arc so nasty, stick out my chest and spit on the ground. In this area, there's less people walking about at night, same with cars. Flash right around me, a car passes by and stops 10 meters in front of me. I coast I can see a shiny pouch, kind of luxury car is right out here in the sticks. Wonder who's riding it. Throw my nice
こんばんは。今夜はいい月が出ていますね。どうですか？一緒に月を眺めながら帰りませんか？
Yeah, I think about it. There are many people around here just trying to think. Hurts a lot leaving like senpai behind. Hi senpai, how tall is it? You want to ride a luxury car like that at least once
び
in
っ
my life.
くりするほどつまらない返事ですね。声をかけたのを後悔しちゃいそうですよ。
This is when I walk down the lonesome late night road.
あなたはいついなくなるんですか？
Hardly presume, but the exact day has been
そう
decided
で
yet.
すか。短い間でしたけど、ここでの暮らしはどうでしたか？有意義な時間を過ごせましたか？
No, you killed me twice. My time spent with everyone here was very memorable and
本
enjoyable.
当に？
How about you,
僕は
senpai? Silence drags out as I walk by senpai. There's no read to rush, so I quietly wait for him to speak. Soon enough, he's
ちょ
opened
っ
his
と苦
mouth.
労しましたけど、僕は納得のいく結末を得ました。無論、やり残したことは多々ありますが、僕にとって最も重要なことは成し遂げられました。
Circumstances surrounding your senpai are so complicated you can't even compare it to an average demon. His body shows must carry such a heavy burden I can't imagine it. What do you think happens to like
それはもちろん、基本的にはあの二人が決めることですが、僕を含め、利害関係者は、父の闇の部分を明るみに出すことに興味を示していません。良くも悪くも、以前の金
I simply chooses his words carefully as he enters. He simply conveys the secret that I've just represented in the common family to me. To be honest, I've been very concerned that the entire child to me of coming is the only heir to the vast fortune of becoming a hero. Of course, I heard about how a sick old man used an enormous amount of his wealth to try and extend his life. That's a pretty common occurrence. There's a similar story from ancient Asia. Fuck your story. There's probably lots of stories that are like regards to it, but if I had a fortune, I'd probably do the same thing when I
無
get
論
old.
僕たちの間に対立の火種が存在しないとまでは言いません。しかし、諸悪の根源は死んだ生駒康弘なのです。ここ、
To come as the hero, Ikoma Ye knocks to the center for probably nothing more than near pawns. I recall Zaki's big question as he just
ああ、それにしても自由とは素晴らしいものですね。こんなに体が軽いのは、多分生まれ、
Okay. Under the moonlight, Esteban laughs and as he looks at me. No, he's probably not laughing, he's crying.
泣いてなんかいませんってば。ちょっと目にゴミが入っただけです。
To hide his tears, Esteban covers his face, turns his back to me. His shoulders quiver, I can tell he's really crying. I stay for a second, but then make up my mind and put my hand on Esteban's shoulder. And that's when it happens. I hear the roar of a beast somewhere far away. I know it's coming, but I spin my head left to right, looking around every direction. I hear the voice second time, it's close, rumbling as if the beast caged right before my eye. Remember, so long, but Esteban isn't reacting at all. It's almost like the sound isn't real. Now your footsteps behind me, tap tap tap. I go to my back and stops. I hear a loud growl in my ear, now I feel the moist in the top of it. I see it turn suddenly, but I see nothing out of the ordinary. However, I can still feel that first climb my back. Palms appear in the corner of my pressure. It's as if someone is trying to cover my eyes from behind. Okay, well this is just creepy. I'll just end this here. I'm not gonna go any farther before we jump into this creepy mess. So here's another cliffhanger. God damn it. Anyway, this is it.